The plague spreads, warping flesh, twisting minds, turning the world to ruin. You were not born for peace. You were forged in the dark, where only the strong survive. Plaguebound is a dark fantasy tabletop RPG where survival is brutal and mercy is a weakness. Play as the Kroghorn, mighty guardians of the wild, the Anakin, ancient fungal monks, the Jorvik, relentless hunters, or one of many others forged in this dying world. Face horrors twisted by the plague, wield forbidden magic, stand against the darkness, or become it. Built on the Ironbound system, Plaguebound is fast, deadly, and cinematic. Use brutal combat, powerful mutations, and cunning tactics to carve your legend. The darkness is coming. The question is, will you fight it or join it? Back Plaguebound now, before it's too late.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geek Out. We're not having Geek Out because Plaguebound is all my players are sick, except one who's joining us. Scrat, welcome to Geek Out. I think this is the first time you've actually done Geek Out per se. You've been on the channel before.
I think so, yeah. The GM Hangout thingy, that's the one thing I jumped in for.
Right, which was on the Discord.
Yeah.
So we're going to be working on some Plaguebound stuff and just chatting because I had this time to schedule for streaming and I don't want to lose people. So we're gonna hang out and talk. We're gonna work on Plaguebound. So just so everybody knows where I'm at with Plaguebound, because I like to keep people informed, I've created 12 gods, and I've named these gods using Pig Latin because why not? Like the great tree is Igra Etgre. So great tree in Latin. I love it. But what we're going to be working on today is I started filling in the map, different towns and that type of thing. I'm going to zoom this in.
It's Blaze. What's happening, man?
Oh, hey Blaze, welcome.
So I don't know if you've ever caught the end of Planar Crossroads, his little chats he does, but we just recorded last night our April Absurdity episodes, and the game we played with you was great timing because it fit very well. So we got to talk about it a little bit.
It's a good system. It was less complicated than I thought it was when diving into it.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about, so our setting this time was we had this train, because those shows that we do were just like brainstorming plots and stuff for other people to play in. But we had a train that was going from world to world or dimension to dimension, so things were very different. Every cab car was a different world, so that worked very well with his system that was meant to handle different things. So,
man, that story that you did, Blaze, was really cool. It was a cool story.
I like that setting.
I
I still
really
vote
liked
that
it.
should be official World Shapers lore, like the main thing that you don't have to play as, but obviously.
Yeah. Now that I've played the system, Blaze, I think I understand it better that I could actually create a character. Before, I felt lost when creating a character. That's why I gave you a description and said go to it, because I don't usually do that. Usually I dive deep into the character creation. But I also didn't have much time. I do have a backer kit coming out in March.
Speaking of, not to derail us too much, but you want to like be on an episode of A Squirrel Plays?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay. I'd like to talk to somebody who's recently gone through that backer kit experience and be like, "What did you learn?" That way, the other people that got their projects coming up might get something out of
God,
it.
I've learned so much. Oh
Like,
yeah,
if you
so
could go
much and
back
so
and
little.
redo it, that kind of
Wait,
thing.
I am doing it. I'm doing it
Sure,
twice, so I'll
sure,
have
sure,
double
sure.
the experience.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit.
Um,
I think I got a couple videos to do before then, and I only get one every 2 weeks. So
all right. So where do you want to start, Scrat? I'm gonna give you the option. Are we gonna start in a
um,
Zabian, Craghorn, or Z3 town?
well, first off, will it mess up the stream if you like share your screen with me too?
No, not at all. Let me share
Okay.
that. Hold on one
That
sec.
way I'm not lagging behind.
I just gotta get to that so I can get it to share. My microphone's right in the way of this window.
All
There we go.
right.
Uh, and my eyes keep itching. Damn springtime,
It's coming.
stupid flowers, and
Say it. I've had a headache today, yesterday, and I think the day before because we're going through a big temperature. So,
all right. So,
but anyway,
what do you think? Z3, Craghorn, or Zabian?
okay. Craghorn's the not owlbears. What were the other two?
Zabians are
The watery
the
ones.
the amphibians, and then Z3 are the little imp-like creatures.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Let's do the water ones.
All right. So let's do their main city, Aquilia. I've already named it, but I have nothing for it. Like nothing. Except that I know that it's going to have both underwater parts and above water parts. Um, I do know that much. Let's see. They are Roman-esque, so they're a democracy.
Okay. Well, did they have like Roman uh physical inspirations like architecture and armor and all that, or just
The architecture is the armor is yes, but it has an ocean feel,
okay,
if that makes sense. Like you
culturally
get
inspired by? That's the word I was
culturally
looking for.
inspired, yeah. It's culturally inspired, but you get like they'll have shells for shoulder pads
Yeah, well, I'll
and
say so. Like the typical Roman ones, like that layered thing. So it could just be layered shells. That
correct,
would be
yeah.
them.
So
Okay.
everybody can see what a craghorn what a Zabian looks like. I'll bring up the book I was just working on and show people. So that is the Zabian type species. So they're very much they are Roman dwarf amphibian is the way I like to think of them in my head because they have this big scraggly beard that's very coarse,
Hmm.
and then they have tentacles inside this beard. Um,
Okay.
so
Instead
but
of a beard
in
of tentacles.
instead of a beard of tentacles, they
Yeah,
have a mixture.
that's
I
cool.
don't know why, but that's what Sage and I kind of came up with that day. So, um, their belief system is that they follow they called the flowing creed. It centers on sacredness of water and as both a giver and taker of life. They value availability, adaptability, unity, and protection of water resources. Um, so they're very diplomatic. They're very that is a unique combination. Yes,
Mhm.
yes, Blaze, it is. Um, so let's give them a leader, a group of leaders. Should we call them a senate or should we call them something else? Let's see.
Well, like schools of fish, so it's got to be a school of something.
Oh, of
Elders. This
school of
is
elders. Sure,
yeah.
that's good. School of elders. They are going to be a group. They are government. Governing body. It's a good category for it. All right. And what about so the way I like to do this usually, and I can't do it that way because this is writing for a book. Usually I create a map. And usually I randomly generate a map. But let's imagine, so we're going to have two sections in this world, in this city. We're going to have the underbelly. We'll call it the underbelly. I like that. It just came to me. I was like, I like that. Subregion underbelly. What can we call the above part?
I need a picture of what this is looking like.
Sure. I
Gotta
have
bring
some.
out the sketch pad, PowerPoint, start doodling.
Yeah, let me pop it up. Bring up Photoshop because I'm fancy like that.
The Mushroom Man.
All right, so it's going to have, and that's way too big, and no, not hard enough. Okay, so my thought process is that it has this island, and definitely not big enough. So it's going to have like this sub-region underneath like this world that lives under the water, and then their main like place castle will be above ground.
Okay.
And because where it's going to appear in the world, I do like underbelly. It's going to appear this so it's in this region that has like funnels of water coming to it.
Mm-hmm.
So my thought process is that we have like this big giant underwater city that leads to a bigger outer city that kind of protects it.
I like that. How
Is my
deep we
thought
going?
process.
Super deep or?
Yeah. I mean they can breathe water, so I want it to be fairly deep. Almost I'm thinking almost like Aquaman type cities, but not that advanced in technology. Does that make
True.
sense?
This is fantasy. So,
Yeah, it's fantasy. So,
medieval fantasy.
so that's what I'm thinking of. All right, let's make some notes here. All right. Nightmare city districts. What? No. What are you doing? Easter Mill. Aquila is going to be a. Oops. Nope. I got to go to connections. This is a place category of city. That's what I wanted. Then it will bring up City Builder and it will be easier.
Mm.
All right. So we have a new district. We have Underbelly. Underbelly is thing, and then what should we call the top?
Top side.
Yeah. For now, we'll
Not
call it
a
top side. I
not
can
a
change
port
it
of any
later.
kind, so you can't call it port something.
No, it's not really a port. It's Great Falls, because I'm sure there's falls with all those rivers running in.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's not, you could make it. So That would be kind of cool,
Uh,
like if that was recessed into the ground and this is all.
upper part of the city. So now we have the Great Falls and the underbelly. The underbelly is going to have. Should it be the 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 slums, or should it be like where the rich live?
Underwater?
Yeah.
Do you have anything set for their lore, like they prefer underwater, or
No, I don't really.
they're just kind of 50-50?
I mean, yeah, 50-50. Like they're amphibians, so they do need to breathe occasionally. Um,
I'm gonna say if they're, because looking at that guy, I feel like he leans more fish. So you could go the route of, well, the higher class get to live in the water,
in the
but
water. That's what
yeah,
I was
but if
thinking.
biologically they need to be on the land, then it might make more sense for the richer and wealthier to be on the land. So it's kind of what their needs are, and whatever their needs are, the wealthier side of them can be in that domain.
The need is they worship water, so I
So
think
maybe you
I
got
feel like what I feel like the rich would be in the water
that, or you
because
could
of
have
that.
the more religiously devout on living in the water,
Hmm. Yeah.
not so
Uh,
much a wealth thing. Like they just want to be closer to it.
so religiously devoted. I'm just gonna make notes and then I'll write things later. Um uh not necessarily rich, not rich or poor.
It'd be kind of neat. The
Um
deeper you went, the more religious they got.
ooh, deeper you go, the more religious they are and more protective they are about the waters because they're protective of the waters. Um, they deeper you go, the deep ones. I'm going to call them deep ones. Is a religious sect who uh has a temple at the bottom of the lake because it is a giant lake. Um, temple I can try to remember um which god was water. I thought I had one. Echoes. Oh, my brain is not working. Groups, characters. That's what I want. Galtai. No, he's death. I don't know if I have one for water. I'm gonna have to make one because these guys kind of worship water. I guess Terasa is probably the best because he's the god of elements. That would make sense. Temple of
I haven't named that one. I have a Arbiter of Elements in my book series, but I haven't figured out a name for him yet.
I randomly picked a name and then I rewrote it using Pig Latin.
So when I'm writing, not for TTRPGs, but for when I'm writing, I like sometimes I will keyboard smash if I want like a more fantasy sounding name, like for an elf or something. But um, important characters, I like to dig into the meaning of their names and have something that actually matches their story.
Yeah, if I was writing a book, that would make total sense.
Like I think most of the arbiters, which are the gods in that world, they're combinations of two words, usually Latin.
Speaking of which, people,
Oh,
go
looky
get Scrat's
there.
book. I just got it. It came in the mail today.
Look at
So
there.
I'm gonna start reading it this week
Awesome.
if I have time.
I'm a slow
We'll
reader.
see if I have
Me
time.
and Dan are on the same page. We take forever to read, and it puts us to sleep.
Oh, I'm a super slow reader, so it's gonna take me probably a good month and a half to read that.
That's faster than I was.
Um,
I got. Let's see. There's one. Where is it? So this is what happens. This is one Glee wanted me to read. I'll read a chunk like super fast, and it's been sitting in this spot for like a year.
So when I read, I'll read. I'll dedicate myself to the book and just sit down and read it. But it will be like weeks because I have to reread pages like 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Because
For a while there, I took a habit of I'd grab a book and read the first chapter, and then like 2 or 3 years later, then I'd read the whole book in like 2 settings. It's like I gotta let it marinate, get in the mood.
I'm gonna move you over here so I can see you. All right, the deep ones. So they have a temple of Terastha, or however you're gonna say it. I love how I create names. I don't even know how to say them. At the bottom of the lake, they are against any foreigners from entering the deep of the lake. There are rumors of a lake monster that hunts the deeps. Foreigners, I spelt wrong. Yes, thank you for correcting me.
Blaze says name creation is usually the last part of my creative process when creating stories and worlds. Very valid. I've written many
Oh shit!
story.
Am I not
where-
live? I'm not
Yeah.
live. Oh,
No,
I
I'm
am.
watching.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm watching. Well, how's
Oh,
Blaze chatting if we weren't?
the problem is that I must have scrolled back on my video
No.
and it said that I wasn't live. I'm like,
Oh, no.
stupid
But I
stupid
was gonna
YouTube.
say, Blaze, I've written good chunks of stories where people just have filler names like Elvis and Goober and everything else.
Hey, DM Tales. Oh, speaking of DM Tales, if you guys get a chance, page 3 gives $5 off Ecclesiacon. I said it again. I'm learning how to say this word. It's taken me a year, but I've said it.
What, Ecclesiacon?
Ecclesiacon. I had the hardest time saying it last year. Like I could not say it for the life of me. But page 3, if you're in the New Jersey area, lower New Jersey, page 3 will get you a $5 off your Ecclesiacon
Well,
tickets.
you going? Is that near enough for you?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. Cool.
Everybody's gonna be there except you, Scrat.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at Gen Con, or nobody's gonna be.
I'm thinking about going to Gen Con, but I probably won't. It's the
trying to
cost.
I
I mean,
know,
I can
it's
I can fly.
$155.
It's the hotel.
Yeah. Is there any well, I don't know, is Airbnb even worth it anymore?
It's not. They
Okay.
charge almost as much as a hotel half the time, so it's not really worth it. There was rumors that there are monsters that hunt the deep.
You know what you
What
could
else?
do?
Mhm.
You, Dan, and Jacob could all just share a hotel room.
We could.
I ain't sharing that.
I do still have to come up with the flight though.
You do.
And DM
Time for a
Tales wants me
GoFundMe.
to Wes wants me to go to Gamehole Con. So I don't know. I can only afford one.
Dang it.
And Gamehole is further away. It's in October, so that gives me more time to save up.
Fair.
Okay, so rumors, lake monsters, distractions. I'm just easily distracted. Lake monsters. What else about the deep ones? Let's create the deep ones while I'm thinking about it. The deep ones, they are a group. They are a religious sect of Tarasoth. That oh, t- so let's create them. This is their location. All right, religious sect district is not something that we need to. That was weird. All right. Underbelly. So we have the underbelly. And then the Great Falls is going to be folks me have just said, yeah, flee Gen Con, your brain will melt. According to West. I mean, Gen Con's
Too
just
much?
so big.
I know. Say, like, I have no convention experience. I'm going to a really tiny one in like 2 weeks, and then I'm going to go to Gen Con.
I mean, Gen Con's huge. Like, that's like punishment. I mean, PAX Unplugged is big, and Gen Con's bigger from what I hear. So it's like PAX Unplugged was too much for me to begin with.
I gotta reach out and see because, like, I wanted to bring a decent camera, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta have a press badge if you're bringing a camera." Blah blah. I was like, "Well, if I'm doing all that, can I get a YouTube
What?
badge?" Yeah, I was like, "Can I get a
Yeah,
YouTube
you should
badge?
be getting.
Content creator."
Yeah, you should be able to get a free badge in that point. The Great Falls, the upper limits of the city. It's where the government resides. The what did we call them? The School of Elders
Yeah.
is the centermost building in a intricate circular pattern, spirals down to the center building. I'm thinking, you probably haven't because you're not on the East Coast, but I'm thinking like Boston. Boston is a giant circle that keeps going around each other.
Oh.
So I'm thinking like that's what the roads are like the pathways, because circular is water circles. So that's the reason why they built this pathway through their city that way.
Okay.
Seeing the flow of traffic through the city, I'm putting this down for notes for when I read it. Seeing the flowing traffic through the city, you would almost believe that this was a vision of schooling fish flowing down. What do you call the channels that fish use to get from halfway across the ocean to the other half. They had it in Finding Nemo. Oh, um, that's what Google's for, I suppose.
What are those things in Finding Nemo?
The current. They just called it the current.
The
So
East Australian current.
East Australian current. A large current in the water. So I'm thinking the city's busy up above, and the busyness is kind of like it kind of flows in a circular pattern, is what I'm thinking. Currents. See, if I just looked over to DM Tails, he would have been able to tell me. All right, so that's what that upper city is like. Leaders. There are 5 elders who sit in the school of school. They are voted in by districts. 2 of them from the deep and 2 from the Great Falls, and then one which is voted by all. That sounds right. That sounds like it will work. Uh, 2 are voted. Yeah, so 6 people run the place. That makes sense. Current leader. Current school. What should we call that one person who's voted in by everyone?
The what?
So I'm trying to think of a name instead of like a president, but my eyes are driving me crazy.
Elected?
Like an elected official, but it's the one. So the way I'm going to do it is there's each district. So we have 2 districts gets to vote in two people from their district, but then there's this one main guy that everybody votes for, and he's kind of like the leader of the elders.
Head
There's
something.
5 total. Yeah.
The Pope.
What is the leader of a school of fish?
The Great White.
So sure, there's a leader.
Doesn't
have a leader. They're self-organizing, coordination,
I mean, that could be kind of an interesting thing. Like, no, we don't have a leader. We just have a group. We don't have a head person.
Yeah. Yeah. What about leader fish? Oh, there's a fish called leader, so that's not going to help me any.
That's the leader.
A pentarchy? Pentarchy.
Pentarch.
I don't know that word. I don't know if it's made up or not. Pentarchy is a group of 5 leaders, a model of church organization, and a plant with 5 submarines. See, look at DM Tails coming clutch because of his
Biblical knowledge.
biblical knowledge. It was even in the Roman Empire, so it kind of fits. It fits. To do the 5 major epiphanies, see Roman Pentarchus 5. I'm just looking to see if there's a. All right, then there's just 5 rulers. We'll just call it a Pentarchy. I'm just making a note of that word so that I can use that later. No, it probably isn't church oriented. A five leader structure. It's probably from some pagan culture, if I had to make a guess. All right. So we have the 5 leaders. Call that. We get the 5 leaders. This. I'm going to go back to the. How do I get back? Oh, Scabbard went down. Oh no. Great time. Great timing. So, quickly. My Scabbard went down, so we need to talk about something.
Oh,
So
why is it like down the servers and everything?
yeah,
Or
it's down, which doesn't happen often. So he must have been doing an update.
Back
Oh,
already?
it came back up.
Oh, Scabbard will go down for a bit. He even got a notification up there.
Yeah, he does, and I missed it. But how's Nets going? Are you ready to? Oh, speaking of that, are we going to do the one shots things? Like, are you up for that still?
Yeah, you said you had a hand like 3 different one shots from other things you said you could use. Because where it's at, I'm just there's some skill combinations that I need to test to make sure they play good, feel good, and don't break anything. But other than that, like it's pretty solid and good to go. I'm just getting real nitpicky about the wording to make sure things the information transfers right when somebody reads it. Because like when people saw skill dice.
Editors for.
Well, it's like I got to come up with some wording because like the word skill dice kind of confused people. They thought they could only use it with the skills. Like no, you can use it with everything. So I changed them to challenge dice because everything you do is a challenge roll. So that
Right. That made more
meshes
sense.
in their head. So things like that. That's what I'm really starting to iron out. And then, like I said, it just needs played. I think that's all it is, just to check on some things. So
all right. Well, we'll play it. I have 3 or 4 things that I can easily convert.
Yeah. So we got that. I made there's a pyramid Egyptian thingy that I made that I really want to do. And then I think Jacob may have had a couple things, but I was talking to him about it. I was like, Humble Bundle currently has a huge Dungeon Crawl Classics bundle. I was thinking about picking up and just using those one shots. So I got a handy dandy affiliate link if you want one.
DCC's not my style game.
I've never played it, but I figured I could steal the one shots and use them in nuts because nuts is like you just kind of make it up. So
you can make it up however you want. I mean, I'm thinking about the campaigns I'm thinking that I can easily convert is a Halloween one that I like. And basically, you have to figure out why the pumpkins are corrupt type deal. And then another one is the your adventurers who are resting, and a goat comes up to you with a scroll of speak animal, and then you have an adventure with a goat that talks. So, all right. Scabbard's back up. Let's see here. We were at places. We were at City. We were at Aluria. What else? We have a temple district. We have. I mean, that's pretty much it until I actually make a map for this one to really get nitty gritty. What about? I want something funny in it too.
Let's see. Blaze says his website totally never goes down. Ever, ever, ever. 100% flawless record. And then he also wants to know
Do you have any open
no.
nut games that run
During his time frame? I mean, we could make something. I mean, we can play Saturday morning again. Yeah. If you want to get in on that. You can play the barbarian that I made in the video. Somebody needs to, or I will.
Are you talking about the goat one, DM Tales? Because you've played that one, I think. I imagine it could be fun. You know what we do is we slowly convert Blaze into Rules Light. Is what we're gonna slowly do.
Gonna run him.
Of course, you can have an axe. It's Rules Light. You can do whatever you want. It's narrative based.
Yeah. He's got a real axe though, and hanging on a shelf behind him.
Yeah. This is okay. That kind of gets me idea on that one. Gets me at least a place to map.
Blaze, that's why you just hit something really, really, really hard with it. It doesn't matter if it's dull.
It is dull. Rules Light is not dull.
No. His axe.
His axe. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, but it's heavy enough to crack a skull, I think. He thinks. Do we believe that he thinks, or has he experienced this? I'm questioning it.
Well, let's put it this way: those people did stop drilling at some point, so. Rogue octopus. I haven't heard of that one. Sounds like
played Rogue Octopus. It's very Rules Light and very funny. I haven't heard of that one either, which is not like me. Usually, I heard of everything or close to everything. Drive-through.
Man, it even looks like Glay.
All right. Is that the one I'm thinking? Did you find the one I'm looking at?
Purple octopus.
Yeah, Rogue Octopus Escapes.
Yeah, I just sent it to her.
That's cool. Co-op TTRPG where the fellow players play as octopus characters work together. I'm gonna note to self. I'm gonna message this person, see if they want to come on the show.
Well, Blaze just said he's friends with him.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's take a look at the preview.
8 stats and roll a d8. Ooh, the almighty d8.
Skills: hugging, suction, manipulating objects, camouflage, contortionism, movement, sense, and ink. That's pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna have to get this and try it out.
Yeah, well, gee, Blaze, if you know him, we should get him on Avenue Studios and play a game.
You have 8 stats and roll a d8. Nothing wrong with d8s. They're not d12s though.
I'm gonna put this one on the list and see what Avenue thinks.
Well, if you guys do that one, let me know, because I'm gonna want in on it.
You think he'd love it? All right. Well, would he love running a game for Avenue Studios or coming on and chatting with Grimwood, or both?
Or both. Let's get him both.
Both.
What else has he done? Let's find out. Just the octopus game. Okay.
He is British.
Oh,
Well, with the hat on that octopus, I never would have guessed.
Not at all.
Say, what is this? Rogue octopus.
Okay. That one's cool. Espe. Espe. Ignore. He is working on some other smaller games. Well, maybe we can get him on to talk about his smaller games that he's working on. I just like talking games in general. Games in general are just fun. Speaking of which, Plaguebound comes out this Thursday.
Ayo.
So, well, Backer Kit starts this Thursday.
Are you nervous, or are you kind of prepared this time?
I'm not prepared. Not at all. I feel less prepared for this one than I do Ironbound, because Ironbound I had 90% written.
So you jumping in this one early?
This one, I just have the mechanics written, and those mechanics.
Well,
are
I
very
would say it's
similar to Ironbound.
also you got a big chunk done already because it uses Ironbound rules. So, like,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much a copy and paste job from Ironbound for the mechanics, because it doesn't change much. Like, what time is the launch? The launch, that's a good question. I am going to go live at 8:00 that night, but it launches earlier than that. And the reason why I'm not going earlier is I'm working that day. It shouldn't show this part. It launches at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time. So it launches at 1 p.m. Eastern. I did double check. I knew it was before I got out of work, so it'll be interesting to see if me not doing a 12-hour launch beforehand affects its launch.
What do you do in a 12-hour launch? Just hang out in a stream?
I hung out. We did a 4-hour one shot of Ironbound. And then before that, I had a friend and we were playing video games leading up to it. So
Sounds like fun.
yeah, it was it was the first 12-hour and the last 12-hour stream I will ever do. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I couldn't do 12 hours. I might do 6.
Yeah, 12 hours was a lot. It really was. But yeah, this Thursday, I'm nervous. I would say I'm nervous. I mean, as you've released a couple things, at least one thing, you get nervous at release. You want people to like it.
Mm-hmm.
And them sharing money, does that show likeness? No, but it does help people. All right. Gachnu or Gachnu. It is a Terrax city. It was at the peak of a mountain. I don't have a name for the mountain yet, but it is at the peak of the mountain. It's going to have transportation. Transportation is buckets that run on pulleys that are pulled by large groups for non-Parax species. The Terrax usually glide between levels. So, just so I can visualize this, I'm going to do something. A village, a city, a fantasy city that is on the peak of a mountain where people travel between levels of the city using buckets. It's going to give me something weird. Watch this.
Buckets.
This is a Terrax city because I have taught AI my book. No, I did not want you to create one. That's not what I wanted. I wanted an image.
You got like the Pro GTT subscription or
Yeah, I
something?
do. I do.
Terrible. I will judge you silently.
You can judge me all you want. I use it for images, which is even worse. I'm a visual person. I have to see something to kind of like explain
it.
how it looks.
I get it.
See, I would
I don't
never
see
have
no
thought about
buckets.
doing something like that.
No buckets.
I see
0 out of 10.
there is no buckets, but it gives me an idea of how to describe it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Unless you count the
And
baskets hanging up there. I mean,
yeah, I mean there was baskets.
that's a
All right.
very inefficient bucket, but maybe.
It's all wood made with scraps taken from
Well,
the
so before you get too far into that, when the picture you showed me of your
Yep.
Tarax dude, I got the vibe he was Aztec inspired, kind of like the Argonians from Elder Scrolls. So is that a route you want to go down? Because he had like the colored feathers and stuff.
That
And everything.
wasn't that wasn't the route I was going with that.
Okay.
The problem is with AI, they can't design them the way I want them to.
Fair enough.
So they do feather headdresses and feather like gowns and stuff like Aztecs would wear. In reality, those are going to be in their dinosaurs, basically.
Okay. Yeah. I got you.
So
That's pretty cool.
I wasn't thinking Aztec that way. I was thinking these are feathers that they actually have naturally occurring.
I got you.
Which is why they can't fly, but they can glide between. They have skin between their arms.
That's right. They got that like a squirrel ability or whatever.
They do the like of the squirrel ability, where they can glide from one place to the other. So my thought process is they're kind of culture-wise, they're kind of Viking-ish.
Oh.
In a way. Like they have I would say Viking like. I'm not gonna go fully into Viking because I'm not, but that's what I was thinking. Like their houses would be made of wood and they would have like intricate designs on them.
They lean into that Norse kind of thing, not so much the Viking kind of thing. So
right, not the violent Viking, more of the Norse. All wood scraps taken, but they do take. They are their enemies are can't remember the names. The Clovenars. That's right. Taken from the Clovenars. So the Clovenars are giant goat-like creatures who climb the mountains like goats. So the two have been fighting over the mountain area for a while.
Yeah, I remember when we came up with those. It was on another stream or just hanging out.
It was,
I think we were
yeah.
just hanging out in a Discord call. Yeah, I didn't know they were rival factions, but yeah, I remember working on that.
I'm debating about putting the 3 species we came up during that Discord call up for stretch goals for the backer kit
Oh.
for player species,
Oh.
because they were just so cool. They were such cool. Let's go over them so people can see. So we have the Timberites, which are small creatures that embrace the mutation of the plague. They once were spirits of the forest and looked to protect it, accepting the plague has changed their culture. They now cut down enchanted trees to build armor and use it to fuse the plague to fuse them to their bodies. They were once in balance with the Greyhorns, but since the plague, the two cultures have been in battle since. And then you have the Covenars, whose society is heretical, ruled by the strongest and most cunning warriors. Their leadership is often decided through brutal combat, and the victor claiming the title of Hornlord, which I think you came up with, if I remember correctly. The Kolvanar view the Terrax as rivals for control of the mountains, considering their gliding ability and affront to the Volnar's grounded strength. And then the last one is the Rhymkins, which are a fierce amphibious shark-like species that have carved out a fearsome reputation of the scourge of the South Seas, known for their practical ways. They raid coastal towns and merchant ships, and even deep settlements, leaving no survivors to tell tales of their deeds. They are as comfortable in the water as they are on land, making them unprecedented and deadly foes. The Rhymkin revere a mythical deity called the Abyssal Father, said to dwell in the deepest trenches of the ocean. He is seen as the source of their strength and master of their secrets. I think all 3 of them are really cool, and I think it would be cool. You know what? You even have to convince me. We're going to add them as stretch goals
There you go.
because they would be a lot of fun.
Now, none of your characters or species come with detriments, right? They're just like you get a bonus in this. Like that's what differentiates.
Thanks for stopping by, DM Tales. They do actually.
Oh, that's right. The Terex guy,
The
he can exhaust himself by running.
the Enokins have sunlight sensitivity, where they take a bane to an action while in direct sunlight, which we got to keep in mind for your character.
I've been watching out for it, but we've been in the forest most of the time.
And
I feel like.
then the Urvix have a heavy exoskeleton. The Urvix exoskeleton causes them to lose 10 feet of movement.
Okay.
The Craghorns, speaking common language is hard, and anytime you talk in common language, you get a bane on the checks involved, with involved such as persuasion, intimidation, and charming.
Okay.
And the Terrax have the limited stamina. And then the Zabians water requirement. Every 24 hours, you must wash yourself down with water or your skin dries out. This causes a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
And then
But nothing like you lose 2 pool points or anything like that.
No, nothing like
too
that.
harsh.
The worst one is probably the Z3, which have their health die is a size smaller
Mhm.
at first level, which can hurt.
Yeah.
But besides that, that's the worst. I really like this design. It's really starting to grow on me. Especially since I took my artist's images and I kind of color corrected them to fit in it looks right now. Anyways, sorry. I get distracted easily. I'm like a squirrel. All right. Well, so the Clovenar are have once owned and ruled the city. So it's a mash between Bulbar, Clovenar's architecture, and I'm spelling that wrong. I love when I
There's
spell things wrong.
there's a TTRPG I really want to make at some point in the future.
What's that?
It's a animal based one. Like you play as anthropomorphic animals because of course, kind of post apocalyptic, all the people are gone in the world. But I want the character creation part to like really focus on the type of animal you are. Like you could be a small squirrel all the way up to a big tiger thing, but like real life animal facts play a key factor in it.
So I was writing, and I think you know this, but I'm going to say it out anyways. I'm currently in my back burner. I have a world where everyone is an anamorphic animal, and it uses the Ironbound system, but they're all superheroes.
Nice. I think you
So
talked about that one before. Well, you mentioned you had a superhero Ironbound setting.
yeah.
I didn't know it was
So yeah, it's anamorphic. So the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I want to find a way of making the super strong Hulk character play next to the Batman and have them feel somewhat equal.
Yep.
Not and I'm thinking about getting rid of races, species in that one, and I'm thinking about just having them create their own out of animal type
Mm-hmm.
abilities. So you're not necessarily going to play human animals if you if you put abilities together.
Yeah.
So
This is also the setting that game. That's the one where the squirrels are very questionable mechanics. They can make anything work, but in reality, it shouldn't work, but it somehow does. It doesn't work very long. It's just long enough to do what it needs to do. Also, I bet Blaze's game could do a Batman next to Incredible Hulk.
oh, it could.
Absolutely.
I might have to grab a hold of him and see how he balanced that, because that's the only
Easy,
thing
he
that's
says. Easy.
yeah. I mean, when you have that many skills, though, it is easy. I only have 3. I have physical, mental, and arcane. And actually, in that game, it's physical, mental, and power. Is so far what I'm doing. And the power pool doesn't work like it does in normal Ironbound. It's actually used to actually create the powers. Batman could be a shadow. Okay.
See, you
I
just
think
if you have Hulk and Batman in the same one, just every enemy is highly resistant to smashing and very low resistance to any tech Batman has. It'll balance out.
I mean, I thought about it for a while how to balance this situation. And the way you balance it is you just give the Batman more interesting things to do, where the Hulk is just smash, smash, smash. Rah, rah, rah. Yeah. He doesn't have very interesting things to do, where your Batman character can, has all these skills that you wouldn't normally associate. And I think doing Plaguebound, I think I might have found a way of solving that problem. And that problem is just giving the ability to get a whole bunch of boons for different situations for the Batman character. So instead of having skills per se, because I don't have a skill system, it
You
would
got
be
feats. It's kind of
yeah,
skillish.
but they're not really skills per se.
Yeah,
They're
they're
more
like, well, they're
they're
kind of
more
stat
abilities than
boosters, kind
skills.
of, yeah. They're fun
They're
to
more
work with though.
abilities. Yeah.
That level 1 where you're picking like 2 or 4 of them. It's like, how am I gonna get the perfect combo?
But speaking of superheroes, I'm clearly working on my character for Dominant. I think Zikrit contacted you to ask if he could run his game for Avenue Studios.
Didn't ask me, but I'm not Avenue Studios.
And he wouldn't ask me because I'm not Avenue Studios.
Yeah, we just hang out with them a lot. I put them to work. I'm like, hey, if you're going to be taking up internet space, make yourself useful. Here's some games, go play.
Yeah.
We could, Zarek. Well, that doesn't mean that's what his Discord name will be, but let's see who's.
I don't
feel
think
like
he's in the. I don't think he's in the.
He's had a lot of
Yeah.
people join recently, but they were
Yeah,
for
he
something
has.
else. There's some other project they were doing.
Collab section. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Yeah, I don't see him. But that doesn't mean he's not talking to them. Hey, have your friend reach out to me if he wants to do a game. I'm willing to run a game on here. I have him run a game on here. I don't just do Plaguebound and Ironbound, so that's all I'm doing right now. I do other games occasionally.
Yeah. So what is GM's day off? Is that where you just run somebody else's game so the GM can take a day off? Because it's a cool idea. I like it.
I think must be.
Well, it's something he streams, so
Oh, is it?
I don't think it's like a official thing. But hey, there he is. There's his video.
International GM's Day, March 4th.
Oh, well, it's GM's day, not GM's day off.
Yeah,
There are a
that's
bunch
true.
of indie TTRPG designers and run each other's games. Well, that's cool.
That's awesome.
I'll just show up, let you run mine, and then I'll disappear and never participate again.
That would be something you would do, Scott.
Except
You tend to stick around. You tend to
Yeah.
stick around.
I've been in a lot of groups that have that same concept. Like we will share this load and help each other out, and somebody will show up and then get their fill and just whoop, disappear. So that happens a lot. Like there was a couple writing groups where that happens very frequently. Like everybody's supposed to come together at this regular interval, share a chapter of what they've been working on, and then get feedback. But they're supposed to stick around and then contribute to the other people that are sharing. But somebody will show up, do their bit, and say, "All right, see, I gotta go." Totally, just this thing came up.
That's against the rules. If you run your game, you must run another game. I ran a Tales of Elsewhere. Now Peter will run in Dominant.
I saw the Tales from part of it. I saw part of the Tales from Elsewhere one.
I don't know how you have time to watch all this stuff. I try.
Well, I see pieces of it. That's the thing. And I feel bad because, so many people watch my stuff and then they're making stuff, and I was like, guys, I don't. It sets in my watch later, and then I watch it, 3 weeks after it's been out. It's still a view, but
it's the time frame. It's like I'm writing so much and creating so much. Like I spent all day making that quick start guide for Plaguebound just so I could have something to share during the backer kit.
too much content to watch. There is. And then when YouTube encourages people to make more often, it's just harder to stay on top of it.
Yeah, it is.
Can you hear those birds out there? Or is it filtering it out?
Absolutely, they are loud. Chirp, chirp.
There's a bunch of them right by the window.
All right. Well, we got one city pretty much done. Pretty much to the point where I have to get it to someplace else. All right, Squirrel. Thanks, Scrat, the
Yeah.
Squirrel. Thanks for coming on and hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
We got some good stuff done.
Yep. And we've made a decision that I'm going to have to change right now because I only have 3 days left to change it. So
I was wondering, like, how you're gonna tack that on. Seemed like a big decision to make this far in.
not really, because the book's not done. So I can tack on whatever I want at the moment. I am doing the purchase, and you can add to the world again.
Yeah, I
Different.
remember you saying that.
But I put it with the hard book, so you have to get the hard. Well, you can get them separately as add-ons, but the packages have them with the hard book.
Gotcha.
Which unfortunately is a lot more expensive. But you can always get the digital and do an add-on. That's fine. All right. So you're going to, are you part of the group on 13th?
Yes, for your release.
Yes,
or
you are.
launch. Whatever.
That's right. You are.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
so
I get to
the
be
13th,
the Arcane Archer Terax dude.
Yeah, the 13th on we're going to do a launch party, kind of. It's going to be a late launch party because I'm working during the time frame that they want me to release this. If it was me, it would be being released at 8 o'clock when I actually can be there. I am going to be checking my phone nervously for the first couple hours. That being said, you guys have a wonderful time. Again, Scrat, thanks for hanging out and making this less awkward. You guys
I don't
have
know
a
if
great night.
I was here. I don't know if I made it less awkward, but